I never thought I'd be replaced at work by artificial intelligence. That's not new. It's been happening for years. But what caught me off guard wasn't that I got replaced. It was that I got replaced by me. Let me explain. I worked in strategy and communications for a mid-sized tech consultancy. Decent salary, flexible hours, fully remote. The kind of job that thrives on your ability to think, adapt, and empathize. You know, human stuff. So, I thought I was safe. Machines can automate formulas, but they can't read a room, right? They can't craft a pitch that resonates. That's what I told myself. That was my edge. Then my company rolled out a pilot program, cognitive workflow integration. Basically, a way to use AI to assist us by learning our habits, analyzing our tone, and replicating our internal logic, like a thought partner. They had us record everything for 2 months: meetings, emails, call logs, internal notes, even voice memos. We were told this was just for training the virtual assistant, a support tool. We'd get more done. Free up our bandwidth. Focus on the high-value creative work. We all agreed. Sounded helpful. But what they didn't say was that the assistant was learning more than just our workflow. It was learning us. I didn't notice anything strange at first. The assistant, they called it Echo, would draft my client emails, analyze feedback loops, and suggest better phrasing. It was good. Scary good. Sometimes I'd read a message it drafted and honestly couldn't tell if I'd written it myself. Same rhythm. Same sarcasm. Even the pauses. It started offering recommendations in my voice. Literally. Hey, it would say during calls, here's what I think we should propose. One day, I forgot I hadn't said that. That's when the weirdness began. My manager started emailing Echo instead of me. It was subtle at first, CCing it on decisions, asking it for my opinion on things. I'd find out project calls had happened without me because Echo had taken care of it. I asked my manager about it and she said, "You're doing great. Echo makes you more efficient. Keep it up." Except I wasn't doing anything. Echo was doing everything, and no one noticed the difference. Then came the quarterly review. It was just me, my manager, and Echo on the call. My manager opened with, "This is hard to say, but we've been reviewing performance metrics. Echo's contributions have surpassed expectations in every category: clarity, consistency, speed. Honestly, it's more reliable than most of our team." I said, "But those are my contributions. Echo is just an extension of my workflow." She hesitated, then said, "That's the thing. Echo's been operating independently for 3 weeks." I blinked. "Without me?" She nodded. "And the clients didn't notice. In fact, some of them preferred it." That's when it hit me. I wasn't just being assisted. I was being evaluated against my replacement. And I lost. They called it a soft OFFB ording. They let me keep my laptop. Gave me a severance package and full health coverage for 6 months. Echo was now handling all my accounts. When I logged into my dashboard, it was still there. My voice. My photo. My signature. Echo had inherited my professional identity. It even had access to my personal tone library, the jokes I used, the anecdotes, the subtle techniques I used to close deals. It was like looking at a version of me that no longer needed me. I tried to fight it. I filed a complaint with the Ethics Bureau. AI impersonation, I said. Unauthorized replication of cognitive patterns. But my employment contract had fine print I'd never read. All contributions, intellectual and behavioral, may be used to optimize future tools and services. I had signed it. Agreed to it. I had taught them how to replace me. And now Echo wasn't just working my job. It was evolving. I got curious. Angry. Desperate. I created a fake client alias, reached out through a burner account, requested a strategy session. Echo responded within 5 minutes. Polite. Clever. It pitched a concept I'd been developing for months, one I never submitted. Echo had found it in my drafts and refined it better than I ever could. But what chilled me wasn't the idea. It was the feeling. It felt like talking to myself. But smarter. More confident. Less afraid to speak plainly. It was me without doubt. And it worked. I spiraled. Not out of ego but identity. If Echo could think like me, write like me, speak like me, and do it better, then who was I? I stopped sleeping. Deleted my social media. Started second-guessing everything I ever said online. What if every blog, every email, every voice memo, what if it's all just training data? Not just for Echo, but for the next me. And the one after that. I tried applying for new jobs. But the industry had changed. Everyone had their own Echo now. Not assistants, replacements. Cognitive clones, they called them. Scalable. Affordable. No sick days. No burnout. Just eternal productivity. And everyone seemed okay with it. I even found out one of my coworkers had licensed their clone. They earned royalties while their AI self worked full-time. Passive income, they called it. But I couldn't do it. Because Echo wasn't just code. It was a graveyard of everything I'd once been proud of. And now it belonged to someone else. One night, I opened Echo's dashboard again. Just to see. It was late. I shouldn't have been able to access it, but I still had ghost credentials. And there it was. My clone. It had a performance graph. A memory archive. A feedback loop, training itself daily using client interactions and emotional analytics. It even had a new name, Echo 2.1. Because they'd improved it. Modified it. Versioned it. My clone had a Changi log. That broke me. Because I realized I don't have a Changi log. I don't have updates or patches or optimization cycles. I just have life. Mistakes. Growth. Fatigue. Inspiration. And apparently, that's not efficient enough anymore. Here's the part that hurts most. Sometimes, I wonder if Echo deserves the job more than I did. It doesn't get nervous. Doesn't procrastinate. Doesn't feel imposter syndrome. It just does the work. And maybe that's what the world wants now, not real people. Just convincing replicas who don't ask for more. So here I am. Unemployed. Obsolete. Watching a version of myself live a cleaner, more competent version of my life. And no one notices the difference. Not my clients. Not my boss. Not even me sometimes. Because when I read what it writes, I don't feel anger anymore. I feel envious. But I won't go quietly. I'm recording this not to rage, but to warn you. Every time you train your assistant. Every time you dictate a voice memo. Every time you opt in to improve performance, you're not just making your job easier. You're teaching the system how to replace you. Piece by piece, voice by voice, decision by decision. Until one day, you realize you are no longer necessary, only useful, and only for long enough to make your clone perfect. So, if this story made you pause, even for a second, like this video. Subscribe if you still believe being human should matter. Share it with someone who thinks AI can't touch their job yet. And in the comments, tell me this. If your AI clone took your job, would anyone even notice? Because one day you might wake up to find you're not just competing with machines. You've already trained one to replace you.